All right, so number 2. You're going to multiply A times C. Okay? So it's 1 times 18. What's 1 times 18? 18. Factor 18. What are factors of 18? Y'all, hush. Unless you're answering my question, you should not be talking. What are factors of 18?
3, 118.
Okay. Which of those factors will add to give me 9? The last one. So rewrite. H squared plus 3h plus 6h plus 18. No, I'm out. I want you to notice something. If I combine my like terms right here, wouldn't I get 9? So does that mean I changed my problem? If I get the same thing? No. Okay? So I have not changed my problem. I have just rewritten it. Okay. So I rewrote. What's my next step? Group. So I'm going to put parentheses around the first 2 terms and the second 2 terms. So I'm grouping. Where are you stuck at? GCF, pull out the greatest common factor. What is common between h squared and 3h? What is common between h squared and 3h? H. So I'm left with h plus 3. So what's common between 6h and 18? I'm going to pull out a plus 6. Are my parentheses the same? Because when you pull out, if you have 6h plus 18 and you pull out a 6, you divide everything by 6. This is steps from yesterday. Are my 2 parentheses the same? So you rewrite again with h plus 3 in one parenthesis, and what's left in the other, h plus 6. You see where 6? What's left goes in the second one. Questions? Yes. To the.
Okay, you see how both of the answers are the last one?
Mhm.
Like, I still get that. Why would you do all that work?
Here?
Yeah, that, yeah.
What do you not get about it?
That is 3 and 4, and when it says 12 with 3 and 4 in a circle, it's the same thing.
You know about over here?
Yeah, and that one.
For these it should be the same. It's because when we get to these problems, it's not going to be the case. So that's the reason why we're repeating this step over and over and over again, so that when we get to this problem, it's going to be a lot easier. Mm-hmm. You okay? You get it? That's the reason why we keep doing this step over and over and over. Okay, let's look at number 7. Multiply A times C. So what's 1 times negative 18? Negative 18. Factors of negative 18. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Okay? Here is where we have to do a little bit of thinking. Okay? In order to multiply, our number has to be negative. Okay? In order to multiply, our number has to be negative. To get a negative number, can I multiply two positives together? What about two negatives? So if I can't multiply two positives or two negatives, that means I have to multiply a negative and a positive. Okay? So I have to have one negative and a positive together. Okay? It could either be a negative positive or a positive negative on my factor list. I have to pick which one. Okay? When we add them together, I have to get a what? A positive 3. Okay? If it has to be a positive 3, then which number is going to be positive? The big one or the small one? The bigger one, okay? To get a positive number, the bigger number has to be positive. Okay? So if the bigger number is positive, the small numbers are negative. Okay? So now, you said the factors that will add to give me positive 3 is negative 3 and positive 6. My middle number is positive. They have to multiply to give me a negative, but add to give me a positive. Okay? Is negative 3 times positive 6 a negative 18? What's a negative times a positive? Negative. What's 3 times 6? So I get negative 18. Now when I combine them, what's negative 3 plus 6? Positive 3. So we get both things that we want. Okay? Rewrite. N squared minus 3n plus 6n minus 18. What's my next step? Group. Group. Next step is group. So put parentheses around your numbers. Okay? So group. GCF. What's common? N. What's left? Okay? What about my second set of parentheses? What's common? Yep. What's left? Are my parentheses the same? Yes, so rewrite. What goes in the first set? N minus 3. What goes in the second one? N plus 6. And that's your answer. Okay. Let's look at number 15. Let's look at number 15. Okay. Step 1. Multiply A times C. What do I get? 15. When you multiply A times C, what do you get? Negative 63. What are factors of negative 63? 1, 63. Can 2 go into it? What about 3? How many times? Okay. Well, 4? Mm-mm. What about 5? 6? 7? How many times? 7 and 9. Alright. So I have to multiply to be a negative. So that means my numbers are same sign or opposite? Yes.
You're not testing. Will you send me Griffin Conley, please?
Yes, I will. It's Papa D's office. Yeah, go ahead and go. Alright, so it's negative 63. So does that mean my signs are going to be the same or opposite? Opposite. Which number is going to be positive?
The 1, 3, and the 7.
The bigger number is going to be what? The bigger number is going to be negative. The bigger number is negative because the middle term is negative. Okay? The bigger number is negative because the middle term is negative. Yes. So which one of those will add to give me negative 2? What'd you say, Jacob? 7, negative 9. B squared plus 7b minus 9b minus 63. What's my next step? Group with parentheses. Okay, you said b parentheses b plus 7. If this is negative, you must factor a negative. If that number is negative, you must factor out the negative. So instead of just pulling out a 9, you're going to pull out a negative 9. Okay? You must pull out the negative 9. So this is negative 9 parenthesis. It's not going to be B minus. It changes the sign. When you pull out the negative, it changes the sign. So B plus 7. So what's my answer? See, it's just the steps over and over and over again. Okay, let's look at the back. Yes. Do what? No. Because it's the same using your no. You would have gotten the same answer, okay? Because you have the B minus 9 would be in one parenthesis, and B plus 7 would be in the other. It doesn't matter which way they're written. I could have written this as n plus 6 and n minus 3 instead of n minus 3 and n plus 6. So you still get the same answer. So you're right. Number 21. Number 21. Okay? 21. Multiply A times C. What do you get? Okay, positive 24. What are factors of 24? 21.
Three and eight, 4 and 6.
Okay. Let's look at this one. 24, is it positive or negative? So are they going to have the same sign or opposite signs? So you said opposite signs. So what's a negative times a positive? Negative. Is that what we want?
No, you want a positive.
We want a positive. It's positive 24. So if it can't be opposite signs, then it's same sign.
But I thought you said the middle number is that's what the middle and the middle number is negative, so you like
Okay.
So they it's negative.
Okay, so the bigger number has to be negative because the middle number is negative. Okay, but does a positive times a negative give me a positive? So what do I have to do with the other number to get a positive? So which factors now will add to give me 11? Negative 11.
3 and 8.
So I'm going to use these three, or these two. Rewrite. Group. What's common? What's common again? Negative 8. Oh, that should not be a plus. That should be a minus 3. Because 24 divided by negative 8 is negative 3. X minus 3. X minus 8. Okay. I am going to skip down to the bottom. We're doing 31. Okay. This is multi-step factoring. So we're combining what we did yesterday with GCF and combining what we've already done today. The first thing you look for is GCF. What can you pull out from 4, 12, and 8? Not 8. 8 won't go into 4. This is the GCF. I have to pull out what they have in common first. Okay? From here, yes, I divided all of the terms by 4 to get what's left. From here, when I am doing the next step, I'm only looking at this part. I'm only looking at what's underlined in the pinkish, purple, reddish color, whatever you want to call it. So what is A? A does not have a variable. A is just the number in front of n squared. 1. What is C? 2. So what's 1 times 2? So I'm going to factor 2. What are factors of 2? Does 1 plus 2 give me 3? Is that what I want? So I rewrite. I did a bracket because I remember we're going to have to group with parentheses. So it kind of helps keep everything separate. Because you'll see it in a sec. I'm going to do parentheses. Because the next step is to group. So I have to put parentheses around everything. So you put parentheses here, in here. You see how it kind of keeps everything neater? That's the reason why I did the brackets. GCF. Are y'all with me so far?
I'm trying to keep up to one.
Where are you at? But I mean, are you confused on how I got the last part? What part?
I'm not believing I am, but then again, we've been doing the same thing. So I don't know. You just like
This step, Giovanni, the brackets go away. Stop. What's your question? What part about it? Right here? Because what's n divided by n? 1. 1. Remember how yesterday I repeated the same thing over and over and over? What's 3 divided by 3? What's 4 divided by 4? N divided by n. 1. If there's something else already there. Because okay, let's say I have this. What's 4 divided by 2? What's n divided by n? If you put the 1 there, what's 2 times 1? 2. Did that 1 change anything? No. Okay? But if I had n divided by n, what does that equal? 1. So if I didn't put this number there because there's nothing there, does it even look like I finished the problem?
No.
No. So you have to put the 1 if there's not something already there. Okay? Okay. There. My brackets are in blue. Y'all, stop. I don't believe it because you're sitting over here trying to push him out of his seat. Alright, when y'all finish, I'm going to the next page. When you finish, I'm going to the next page. So go ahead and flip to the next page. The next page has instructions at the top of it. I do not like those instructions. I'm not going to use them. But if you can read them and understand them, good for you. The 2 blanks is A and C. If you want to fill them out. I'm not using them though. I'm using the same steps that we just worked on. Because I did a GCF first. You cannot forget the 4. That 4 is the GCF that we didn't have in the other problems. Jacob and Rosa, stop hitting each other. Okay? So go to the next page. It is the same steps, except I'm not using these, but if you want to write them, you can. I don't like these steps. Okay? I'm using the same steps from a while ago. So step 1, multiply A times C. What's A in this problem? So what is A in this problem now? 2. What is C? So what's 2 times 3? 6. So now you're factoring 6. Now factor 6. What are factors of 6? Okay? So which of those factors add to give me 5? So rewrite. Kashani, are you with me right now? Yes, it's 2x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 3. Are you with me? What was the next step? Group. What was step number 3? GCF. So what's common in the first set? Not just x, though. 2x. Okay, so what's left? X plus... What did you say? Because what's 2x divided by 2x? What is 2x divided by 2x? 1. It is not an x. Get it through y'all's heads. Okay? Anything divided by itself is what? 1. Not 1x, not 1n, not 1p. 1. It is just 1. Okay? I repeated it yesterday. I'm repeating it today. Anything divided by itself is 1. If you don't learn anything today, I want you to learn that. Anything divided by itself is 1. What's common here?
3.
So it's going to be a plus 3. What's left? Are my parentheses the same? So you rewrite x plus 1. What's left? This is my answer. This is the exact same steps. I did the exact same steps, but this time on our other problems, they all had 1 in front. The difference with these, they have something other than 1 in front. That's the whole point. That's the reason why I did the exact same steps on the other problems. So by the time we get to here, it's just the same thing over and over.
Well, can we just start right here?
Hey, do example 4.
You want me to do example 4? I'll do example 4.
I want you to stop, because you do too much on my brain.
Here's the problem. What does step 1 say to do? I am not using those steps.
Oh, let me see.
I am using the steps.
Man, multiply by A and C.
Multiply A and C.
Multiply A and C. I am using the steps that I showed you on the first paper. Multiply A times C. So what is 12 times negative 5?
Negative 6.
Negative 60. Factors of negative 60. 1 is 60. 2 and 30. 3. 2 and 30. 3 and 20. I think 4 might go. No, 4 won't go. What about 5?
5. Yeah, no, 4.
You're right.
Look at you.
15, 15 is 30, 30, 30, 60. Yep. Good job, Griffin. 5 and what?
5 and I told you 5 and 12. Yeah, I thought 10 times 6 equals 62.
We haven't gotten there yet.
No.
Yeah, I did, fam.
So 6 and what?
10. Yeah, get off her.
What about 7? 8? 9? Alright, I'm done. Okay. They have to multiply. They have to multiply to get
A positive 11.
a negative. Okay? So that means do they have the same sign or opposite signs? Opposite signs. The bigger number is going to be positive.
Why?
Because the middle is positive. The bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. The bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. So all of these are positive, so that means these are negatives. Do y'all have a question so far?
So it's going to be negative 5 and 12.
Because negative 5 plus 12 is positive 7. We want positive 11.
Because 4 minus 5 is 1 and then
Negative 4 and 15. You see that?
I was just adding 5 and 12 together.
So rewrite. What's my next step? Group. Yes. Group. Sorry, I didn't hear you. What's the next step?
Now you got I forgot. 12 C and then plus you gonna rewrite it. No, you gotta do you gotta
GCF.
Yeah, it's 12.
It's not 12 because 4 divided by 12 does not give me a whole number.
3 C.
3 won't go into 4.
Is it? Oh no.
4. 4
Yes.
C. So what's left?
3 C.
3C
Yeah, minus 1 C. I know, yeah, 1 C. Same thing.
minus 1.
Same thing. We got the same answer, job.
What about the next one? What can come out? Positive or negative 5? Positive 5 because the 15 is positive. I'm pausing.
We divided 5 and got 3 C and then divided by 5 and got 8.
Mhm. Yes. Griffin, right here is the reason why I showed you those steps. Because if I had just did C minus 4, is that what we got? No. I was leading y'all up to these problems. That's the reason why we did them on the other page like that.
Yep.
I have the video questions. Someone who's watching this might have the same question.
Bullshit. China wants you.
So that's the answer.
That's your answer. 3C minus 1 and 4C plus 5. So it is the exact same steps. The exact same steps. Okay? I know. Let's look at the next page. I'm going to do one more. Multi-step factoring. This is where you are trying to look for a GCF. Okay? These numbers, what do they have in common? What will go into all of them? But there's a bigger number. 4. Y'all hush. What's left? Minus what? I'm dividing all of these numbers by the 4.
Minus 8.
Okay, so step 1 is to what?
No, not you gotta
What does step 1 say? Multiply A times C. So if I'm just looking at this, what's my A? What's my C? So what's A times C? So what are factors of negative 30? Okay, so Jacob, my bigger numbers are going to be, so what are my small numbers? Positive. Okay, so which factors add to give me negative 13? Which factors add to give me negative 13? Rewrite. Okay, guys, I'm bringing the bracket back. I'm bringing the bracket back. So just so you can keep everything organized. If you want to just use a bigger parenthesis, you can, but it helps me keep stuff organized. Okay? What's the next step? Group. So parentheses around the first, parentheses around the second. Okay? GCF. What's common? Just the N? What's left? Okay, what about the next one? What's common? Positive or negative? Negative 3. Can 3 go into 15? Can 3 go into 6? Oh, and that should be a positive 2. That should be a positive 2. Okay. I'm done with my brackets. Okay. 4, 5n plus 2, n minus 3. Your homework is these problems here and the 31 through whatever on the other side. So problems 31 through 36 on the first page, problems 10 through 15 on the second. That's your homework. Post it to Google Classroom.